Hello YouTube, this is Natanis Likens here with another real life chat. And today I want to briefly talk about Ms.Marvel. Okay, so the show is now 2 episodes deep. We should be getting the 3rd one later this week. And thus far, the acting's good. I'm very impressed with the young lady they found to play Ms.Marvel. And in fact, her story is pretty much the story of Ms.Marvel. But that's where the show kind of ends as far as how good it is. The story so far, it's basically an origin story. And the story so far has been very, very boring. It's been uninteresting. Like, even watching episode 2, I was just kind of like, eh. And just kind of watched it until we got some more of her learning her powers and dealing with it and what's coming with that. And so far, it's been lackluster. But that's not my real issue with Ms.Marvel. My real issue is kind of a touchy subject. And I know a lot of you are probably going to hate, but it needs to be brought up. Because Hollywood has a whole big double standard on stuff that I think somebody needs to start calling them out, and I'm going to do it right here, right now. And that is with them showing us, you know, the Muslims at Moss, at Mass, I lost the word, whatever their religious stuff is. They flat out showed us that in episode 2, which again was just kind of boring and didn't really need to be there. I mean, this is a story about a character discovering her powers and going on to be a superhero, so I don't understand why they even bothered showing us that. And this is where the double standard comes in, because they had no problem showing us that and trying to paint the religion in as, you know, a peaceful, quiet religion and everything, which you know, I'm kind of on the fence about. We're not going to get into that. The real issue I had is that they showed us this, had no issue with it, and we're just like, here, look at this. But if you think back a few years, Dynasty was a really good, clean show about a family and a business. But it got kicked off of the air because people were starting to be offended by the religious elements that were in the show. And this is part of that family's life. So, what's up with that? I mean, one show gets kicked off the air for that, another one we're flat out seeing a different religion. Like, we got a double standard here. Is religion okay and stuff or not? And I'm not talking about specific religions, I'm talking about religions in general. And Hollywood seems to be single targeting a specific religion. I'm not going to get into it. I am completely against religions as a whole. Let's not even get started. But my real issue here is the double standard that they seem to have shown in the dealing with religion and stuff. And I'm not a big fan of it. This is a big problem. And Hollywood, you need to start cleaning up your act in all regards. Like, either you're going to have any and all religions in it, or you're going to have none. And definitely don't put it in just to have it. Like, holy crap, Ms.Marvel was... That second episode was rough. Like, it was so boring. And I mean, it's supposed to be one part teen drama, another part superhero, but holy cow, that episode as a whole was rough to get through. Like, the first one was bad enough. That second one is just rough. Now, this is not against any of the actors. They had nothing to do with it. This is to whoever wrote the story. Like, come on. And again, the double standard. Like, really? How can you kick off one show for religious imagery and talk and everything? I mean, there's more going on than that, but that is primarily the problem. But another one, you flat out, yeah, here it is, here's this, and you're just like willy-nilly about it, and it just doesn't seem right. So I mean, we really didn't need that in the episode at all. I mean, there was no point of interest on that. There was no major story elements told there. We're just seeing this character's life, and this was kind of something we didn't really need to see. It's kind of the same with how they went about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, we really didn't need the racial stuff in there. We didn't need that at all. That, I was simply watching that because I wanted to see Sam take up the shield. I wanted to see Sam rise up to being Captain America. That was the whole point of the show, and I was super excited about it. And then it started tapering off when they got into racial stuff. And I was like, come on. Like, quit shoving this stuff in our face. Like, we don't need this. I just want to see this character rise up to being the person that Captain America and Bucky, the Winter Soldier, wanted him to take the place of. That's what I wanted to see. The rest of the stuff, the fluff that they put in there just isn't necessary. I mean, it doesn't add or take away to what the character is doing, what they are becoming. There's so many little things like that I'm just like, come on, Hollywood. What's the deal? Like, quit shoving certain things down our throat, and then other things be like, oh, no, sorry, you can't see that. Like, seriously? Is this what we're coming to, where others get to dictate what is acceptable? Because that's kind of what they were passing off. Like, this is acceptable, this is not. This is a problem here, this is what we should do, when, yeah, that's not really the answer. They give us fluff answers all the time in certain things, in certain situations, and I'm getting tired of it, to be perfectly honest. I'm really tired of seeing certain things like that and seeing things shoved in our face. So Hollywood, stop, please. Like, I just want to see a good story. I don't need the retarded stuff in there, or your personal opinion stuff in there. Like, just tell us a good story. Is that too much to ask for? Like, you gotta start shoving things that you have no business talking about in our faces and saying, hey, we think this is fine. That over there, no, that's not fine. Oh yeah, by the way, there's this problem over here. We see it as a problem and you need to be aware of it. Well, I hate to tell you, but the problem you're actually seeing is reversed. It's an old problem that they are trying to flip on their head. They aren't trying to solve it. They're flipping it on its head. And yeah, this does get kind of touchy for some people, and I am well aware of that, and I'm well aware I may get some hate from it, but it needs to be said. Like, in recent Duck Dynasty reruns, I've noticed that they have censored and cut out a whole lot of content from the original run of the show. Like, at the end of every episode, they used to say a prayer. Not a big deal, but I did notice that they started cutting that. The reruns have that completely cut out. Like, the prayer's nowhere there. Like, it starts just barely and then cut on to the next episode. And then we get this episode of Ms.Marvel where they flat out show us Muslim praying. And it's not that I have a problem with it. What I have a problem with is the double standard. Like, this is okay, this is not. That's my real issue. And I know I'm probably going to get some hate from that if this gets out to people, but that's just how I feel. And that's all I've got for you today. This is Natanus Likens, and I'm out.